Tiulandeni pano Parliament Broadcasting lero lachisanu pa 19 June 2026. Dzina langa ndi Fane Mbwana. Tupitiriza kupasilani mkumano umene wa komiti yapadera imene idatwe komiti imene ikufufuza za ngozi ya ndege imene inachitika pa 10 June 2024 ndikukupha yemwe anali wachiwiri kwa mtsogoleri wa dziko lino Dr. Saulos Klaus Chilima komanso anthu ena asanu ndi atatu 8. Komiti iyi yakhala ikukumana ndi mboni zosiyanasiyana kuyambira dzana pa 17 June ndipo lero akhala akukumana ndi mboni zina kupitiriza kafukufuku wawo. Lero lino tikuyembekezera kuti kufika a James Chiusiwa amenewa ndi a former principal secretary ku Ministry of Defence unduna wa zachitetezo. Komanso lero lino tikuyembekeza kuti kufika Dr. Mwaiwawo Polepole amene ali former principal secretary ku Ministry of Foreign Affairs unduna woona za ubale wa dziko lino komanso maiko akunja. Ku unduna omwewu tikuyembekeza kuti kufika Mr. Grips Chinzimu amenewa ndi assistant protocol officer. Iwo onsewa tikuyembekezera kuti afika lero mu chipinda chimenechi kuti auze komiti zimene zimakhalira ndondomeko ya boma makamaka kufotokoza njira zachilolezo pakakhala kuti pali ulendo ndi zina zotero tingoti authorization procedures. Tikuyembekeza zimenezi ndi zina zambiri tumemani kuti mkhale pomwepo pakuti mkumanowu kukhala ukuyamba posachedwapa. Khalani pomwepo.
Chairperson, honorable members, before you is Mr. James Chiusiwa, former Secretary for Defense. Thank you.
You're welcome, Mr. Chiusiwa. You can take your seat. Please feel free, relax. We're here to interact with you. Before you is the Parliamentary Ad Hoc Committee established by Parliament to investigate the aircraft accident that took place in Intungwa on 10th of June 2024, which led to the loss of lives of the former Vice President, Dr. Saulos Klaus Chilima, and 8 others. Before we go any further, I would like you to know the membership of the Ad Hoc Committee, which is on my right-hand side, and then the Secretariat on the left-hand side. So if I may start on the right, on the far right.
Good morning, Chairperson. Ismail Nkumba, the MP for Blantyre City, Ndira and Mabada Nyambadu constituency, and I'm a member of this Ad Hoc Committee. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Mpatso Jones Boti. I'm a member of Parliament for Lilongwe Mude constituency. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Felix Njawala, Member of Parliament, Mwanza Central constituency.
Chair, I'm Joshua Marango, Member of Parliament for the Kasina constituency.
Good morning, Chair. Through you, my name is Dailes Moses Mbengo, MP for Chiusiwa constituency. Thank you.
Chair, morning. My name is Mackenzie Chipalamoto Nkwazi, a Member of Parliament for Nkadabe North, and I'm a member of this Ad Hoc Committee. Thank you.
Chair, good morning. My name is Saveo Kafafa, Member of Parliament for the Zamayani constituency. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Gilbert Konyongwa, Mlangi North MP. Thank you.
Chair, good morning. My name is Domisano Lindani, a Member of Parliament for Zomba Tondwe and a member of this Ad Hoc Committee. Thank you.
Chair, good morning. I'm James Mpunga, representing the people of Zomba City South constituency, and I'm Vice Chair of this committee.
Leadership of the Secretariat.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chairperson and all honorable members. My name is Joseph Manzi. I am the Deputy Clerk of Parliament responsible for procedures. I'm leading the team of the Secretariat sitting on my left. But I will allow quickly those in front just to say their names for purposes of records for this morning, Chair.
Honorable Chair, my name is Longani Kabich. I'm Chief Clerk Assistant in the Secretariat.
Chair, good morning. I'm Tile Likoma, Head of Legal Services. Thank you.
Chair, good morning. My name is Ephraim Maipopo, Principal Clerk Assistant in the Secretariat. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Patrice Nkono. I'm a consultant with the Secretariat.
Good morning, Chair. I am Endless Nyari, Hansard Editor, Secretariat.
Good morning. Good morning, Chair. My name is Annie Kanyangalazi, Research Officer.
Through Honorable Chairperson, my name is Charles Makarani, Committee Clerk. Thank you.
Through the Honorable Chairperson, I'm Opide Polepole Ali, Committee Clerk. Thank you.
Our guest this morning, my name is Walter Nyaminando Manda, the Chairman of the Ad Hoc Committee and a member of Sanje Southwest. Before we go any further, just to advise you that the session is live on Parliament TV, various media houses, YouTube, and Facebook. And also to seek your preference on how you want to communicate. Which language are you comfortable to communicate with?
Honorable Chair, I would like to communicate in English. Thank you.
Much obliged. Mr. Chiusiwa, you served as a Secretary of Defense, as Principal Secretary for the Ministry of Defense. You held the senior civilian administrative position overseeing the MDF, including the Malawi Air Force. Under the Defense Force Act, you were responsible for defense as a member of the Defense Council, the body responsible for the command, discipline, and administration of the Defense Force. From the evidence received so far, the air transport order for the 10th of June 2024 for the VIP mission was verbally arranged on the evening of 9th June and formally issued on 10th June 2024. Whether the Ministry of Defense was informed of or consulted about that process, whether applicable procedures required such notification, and whether the ministry had any administrative role in authorizing or overseeing VIP transport mission using Air Force assets are matters that fell under your administrative accountability as a controlling officer of the ministry. You obviously have received summons pertaining to this matter, so we would like you to respond to those summons, but before you respond, we'll be required to administer an oath. So may I request the Secretary to administer an oath.
I, James Chiusiwa,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
by the Almighty God
by the Almighty God
that the evidence I shall give
that the evidence I shall give
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Mr. Chiusiwa, you are now free to respond to the summons. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair and your committee, my appearance before the ad hoc committee on the Chikangawa plane crash inquiry is to testify on the role I and the Ministry of Defense played in the planning of the late Vice President's program on 10th June 2024, travel arrangements, passenger coordination, communications with government institutions, and events immediately preceding the departure of the plane of the Vice President from Kamuzu International Airport. I will also talk about one event that transpired after the plane crash. The role played by myself and the Ministry of Defense. Honorable Chairperson and your committee, I would like to testify that I and the Ministry of Defense did not directly play any role in the planning, travel arrangements, passenger coordination, and communications with government institutions regarding the late Vice President's program on 10th June 2024. The planning and other arrangements ought to have been made by the Office of the Vice President. The Minister of Defense was indirectly involved in the planning through the Malawi Defense Force, whose aircraft was used to transport the late Vice President and his entourage. After the plane went missing, the Minister of Defense, through the Minister, Honorable Harry Mkandawire, was getting updates from the Malawi Defense Force commander. The Minister also joined the search team and was on site when remains of the deceased were being flown to Lilongwe. News about the plane crash. Just like many Malawians, I followed developments on the missing of the Vice President's plane and later about the crash on the radio. Principal Secretary's Committee. On 11th June 2024, I received a call from Office of the President and Cabinet, OPC, inviting me to a meeting of a committee of principal secretaries to plan for the receipt of bodies of the deceased, including the late Vice President from the North. I should indicate here, Honorable Chairperson, that I don't recall specifically the officer from OPC who called me to invite me to the meeting. I did not attend the meeting and subsequent meetings because of the following reasons. One, on 10th June 2024, I lost my aunt, Mrs. Kawai, at Kamuzu Central Hospital. When OPC called about the meeting, we were taking her body to Kampata Trading Center, where she used to stay, and later to Katsilizika village along the Nkoma Mission Road for burial. I therefore excused myself from the meeting. Burial of my aunt was on Wednesday, 12th June 2024. Secondly, on Saturday, 15th June 2024, I left for Madrid, Spain, to attend the United Nations Disaster Assessment and Coordination UNDAC refresher course, organized by the United Nations Office for Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs. The course ran from Monday, 17th to Thursday, 20th June 2024. I returned into the country on 22nd June 2024. Honorable Chairperson and your committee, this marks the end of my testimony. I submit.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chiusiwa, for your self-explanatory report. May I request members to, if they have any further questions or follow-up questions? Mwanza Central.
Thank you very much, Chair. Good morning, Mr. Chiusiwa. I just want to confirm that you, as PS of Minister of Defense, you followed the activities or the events on radio like many other Malawians. I just confirm that.
Yes, Honorable Chair and your committee.
Thank you very much. And in your presentation, you've also indicated that the Minister of Defense was getting updates from the Army Commander. Was the Minister sharing the information he was getting from the Army Commander with you?
Honorable Chairperson, not the Army Commander, but the Malawi Defense Force Commander. No, the Minister was not sharing the updates with me. But when I spoke to him after the news came out that the aircraft had an accident, he did inform me that he had been getting updates from the Malawi Defense Force Commander. Thank you.
Last one, Chair. Do you recall at what point you and the Minister had that conversation?
Honorable Chair, I cannot specifically remember at the time, but it should have, as I indicated, on that day we had left here to take the body of my aunt to Kampata and later on to the village. I was in my car with my two sisters. I don't specifically remember at what time the news came out. But usually when I'm traveling, I like listening to music. On a day like this, when we are going to a funeral, I listen to gospel music. But because of what had happened, when we started off from here, up to when we arrived at Kampata and later on the village, I was listening to the radio because I wanted to follow the developments. So this may have happened either just before arriving at Kampata Trading Center or when we had arrived at Kampata Trading Center, but I don't remember the time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sorry, Chair, one last question. As PS, did you assign someone to take charge of the event since you were going to a funeral in the Ministry of Defense? Did you assign someone?
No, Chairperson, I did not. Since the minister was already involved, and when I had, as I indicated, when I had started off from here, OPC had invited me to a meeting that was going to take care of issues. And since I gave my excuse, I knew that Office of the President and Cabinet would be handling the issue. I submit.
Thank you very much, Chair.
Zombatonde.
Thank you so much, Chair. I have a couple of questions, but I'll go for three just to give you an opportunity to my colleagues for now. I'll come back later. The first question, I will go through, Chair, but I will ask him directly. Who represented you at the OPC meeting, which you didn't attend?
Honorable Chairperson, the meeting was a committee of principal secretaries. I was the principal secretary for defense. I was not available, and I did not attend the meeting, and no one would have represented me. It was a committee of PSS. I submit.
Thank you. Is it not a common practice for, because these are official matters, is it not a common practice for you to send someone when you have other assignments to represent you? Is that not, don't you normally do that?
Honorable Chairperson, it depends on the nature of the meeting. There are times when, because of the nature of the meeting, the Office of the President and Cabinet will indicate that you are being invited as a PS and no one can represent you. So in this case, because of the nature of the issue that was going to be discussed, I took it upon myself not to delegate because other principal secretaries were going to be in that committee. I submit.
And thank you, Chair. In your view, what was so critical about the planning of the funeral that you couldn't delegate someone? In your view, what was so critical? What was so sensitive?
No, it was a decision that I made as principal secretary.
No, we just wanted to understand as a committee, and Malawians need to understand why in some cases you delegate. But in this particular case, you've actually said because of the nature of the matter that was going to be discussed, you could not delegate someone. And I wanted Malawians to understand what necessitated you to think in that line. What critical aspect was there?
Honorable Chairperson, the one who had made the call had indicated that I was being invited as Principal Secretary for Defense and I should attend in person. I submit.
And just for the record, you repeated, you said in your statement you can't recall that person, but you behaved like that.
No, I cannot recall the person.
Thank you so
Maybe
much.
I should add that possibly 3 officers that may have made the call. It could have either been the former clerk to cabinet, Mr. Samson Ngutwa, or a director in the cabinet office, Mr. George Chande, or the director of administration in the OPC, Mr. George Mwale. But I cannot recall who specifically made the call. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. The other question, my condolences, you lost your aunt during this process. But you are aware that the state president then, Honorable Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, cancelled his external trip to Bahamas because of this funeral of the vice president. Are you aware?
Yes, I'm aware.
And why did you, as a responsible PS, chose to go to Spain before the vice president was ready to rest, and yet you are the responsible minister covering the defense and the equipment was belonging to the defense? Why did you copy the example of the president, Dr. Lazarus Chakwera? I submit.
Honorable Chairperson, as I indicated, the Office of the President and Cabinet did put up a committee to deal with that situation. And I knew that my colleagues were going to be able, to take care of the situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. But just to put it on record, I wanted you to follow the traces of this, because within the Minister of Defense, he was the most high-ranking person, and the equipment was belonging to the Minister of Defense, and he's the #1 person within, as a civil servant within Defense. And he chose not to delegate anyone to the OPC meeting. He can't remember the person who called him. And before the Vice President was ready to rest, he decided to go abroad outside the country, against the example that was given by the State President, who cancelled his trip. I just wanted that to be on record. I submit, Chair.
Thank you, Zombatonge. There's a Mayani, then I move along the line.
Thank you very much, Chair. Mr. Chiusiwa, I just wanted to learn a few things from you in terms of the way the ministry functions versus how MDF is placed. I would like to understand who takes the budget for MDF to Parliament. Is it your ministry, Minister of Defense, where you were PS? I just wanted to learn if yes or no.
Honorable Chairperson, at your committee, the Malawi Defense Force Commander takes the budget of MDF to Parliament.
So does that mean that then you are the budget holder of the Malawi Defense Force. Is it so, technically?
No, I'm not. I indicated that the Malawi Defense Force commander takes the budget of MDF to Parliament, not the Ministry of Defense, and not the Secretary for Defense.
Okay. Where do you come in between yourself and the Minister of and MDF? Where do you actually interact? I want to learn that from you, because you are the main PS Defense, and MDF is Malawi Defense Force. So the defense is appearing on both sides technically. I would like to learn where you interact, the intersection, if I would use that word. I would like to learn that from you. Thank you.
Yes, as you, Honorable Chair, and your committee, as you have indicated, the Ministry of Defense is the parent ministry for the Malawi Defense Force. There are some issues that are done after some consultation between the two. But because the Malawi Defense Force commander is a controlling officer in his own right, there are a lot of things that the Malawi Defense Force commander, as controlling officer of the Malawi Defense Force, makes decision on his own without involvement of the ministry.
Okay, let's put an example that Malawi Defense Force wants to buy an aircraft. How will that budget get to Parliament? Can I learn from you on that aspect?
Honorable Chair and your committee, if Malawi Defense Force would like to procure an aircraft, there were some changes that were made, I think, in the PPDA Act. The issue will be discussed by a IPDC of Malawi Defense Force. And it was like it is at Malawi Defense Force. The ministry is not part of that IPDC. But after a decision has been made, it is supposed to be presented to the Defense Council for approval. And during the period I served as a Secretary for Defense from April 2024 to October 2025, there was no meeting of the Defense Force that did discuss procurements at MDF.
Okay, Chair, I'm asking those questions because I want to learn on how your inventory as a ministry is in terms of what did you have as a ministry against different departments or state organizations. In that manner, do you know or do you have any inventory on how many aircraft? I don't want you to say the number, or I just wanted to learn if you know if MDF has aircraft in any inventory, or if MDF has vehicles, or if it is lacking such issues. I want to learn from you as a minister if you are aware of such issues.
Honorable Chairperson and your committee, the Ministry of Defense does not maintain an inventory for the Malawi Defense Force. We maintain an inventory of equipment that the ministry has. Thank you.
Chair, my last question. Does that mean that you don't know that even Malawi Defense Force has a Donia or a helicopter, whether it is functional or non-functional, such that you don't even know who uses what according to their arrangements as a ministry responsible. You don't know anything that happens in that sector in that manner.
Honorable Chairperson and your committee, the question that the honorable member asked me earlier is whether the Ministry of Defense has an inventory of MDF assets. And that was my response. I know that the MDF has a donia, the MDF has helicopters, and I think as you have indicated, I don't have to indicate numbers. But in terms of maintaining an inventory of assets for the Malawi Defense Force, that is not maintained by the Ministry of Defense, but by Malawi Defense Force. Thank you, Honorable Chair and your committee.
Honorable, we go to Nkadabe North.
Thank you, Chair, for giving me this question, chance to ask question to Mr. Chiusiwa. My question, I've got 3 questions. First question is, what is the Ministry of Defense administrative law in the authorization or oversight of VIP transport mission using Air Force assets?
The Ministry of Defense has no role in that regard. Thank you.
All right. What is the administration step should have been taken at ministry level before the aircraft was assigned to carry the Vice President on 10th June? Were those steps taken? If yes, produce the documentation. If not, explain why.
Honorable Chair and your committee, as I indicated, the Ministry of Defense does not play any role in the utilization of Malawi Defense Force assets. As indicated, the Malawi Defense Force commander is a controlling officer in his own right. And when requests are made, whether by government ministries, departments and agencies, or individuals, those requests do not pass through the Ministry of Defense. They go directly to the Malawi Defense Force headquarters, and they make decisions without even consulting the Ministry of Defense. Thank you.
Okay. So on this particular day, you mean that there was no any information concerning the procurement of the aircraft for the VIP?
No, Honorable Chair and your committee.
Ilongemude.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chairperson. I'm asking questions for clarity, PS. So I'll ask you the first question. I have just 2 simple questions. Within the civil service, do you delegate when you are specifically invited to attend a meeting as a PS?
Yes, there are times when I delegate.
When
I used to delegate.
Okay. The second question that I have is when you are traveling outside as a principal secretary, do you seek leave of absence or you seek permission from the chief secretary or SPC for you to travel outside? And on this particular day, when you were going for your trip to Madrid, did you seek that leave of absence to request that you be allowed to travel?
Honorable Chair and your committee, as Principal Secretary, when I travel, when I am to travel outside the country, I seek leave of absence. I request a leave of absence from 2 superiors. The first one is the minister responsible. So at Ministry of Defense, with regard to the Madrid trip, when I got the invitation, I deployed a memo to the minister to indicate that I've been accepted to attend this refresher course, and the minister approved. After that approval, a PS is also supposed to seek approval from the chief secretary or the secretary to the president and cabinet then. So after the approval of my minister, I did deploy another memo to the secretary to the president and cabinet who also approved. And it was on that basis that I proceeded with the trip. Thank you.
Chair Nzozimvayi.
Thank you so much, Chair, for giving this chance the people of Chiusiwa to ask a question of Mr. James Chiusiwa. As a PS, as a former PS, I would like to appreciate the standard interministerial process when the Vice President travels by military aircraft on an official functions, which ministries are involved. What are these respective responsibilities? And was that process followed in the relation, was that process followed in relation to the 10th June 2024 flight? Thank you.
Honorable Chair and your committee, I may not know all the ministries that are involved when the Vice President travels because that is the responsibility of the office of the Vice President. But what I would say when military assets are involved is that the office of the Vice President would have to get in touch with the Malawi Defense Force to find out the availability of the asset that they would like to use. And after that, it's like they will proceed to make their plans. The Ministry of Defense is not involved in any way, and it is not possible for me to indicate which other MDAs are involved in that planning process. Thank you.
Blantyre Malabada.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. My interest was similar to the Zamayani's inquiry into the inventory of the MDF, but Mr. Chiusiwa has said that the ministry does not keep any records. But I would like to find out as to why this is the case, since this is the mother ministry for the MDF. Why do they not also keep records of the inventory? Thank you, sir.
Honorable Chair and your committee, I will respond in this way. Before I became Secretary for Defense, I was Secretary for Local Government. And I think as most members of this committee may know, the Ministry of Local Government is responsible for all district councils, all city councils, and 2 municipal councils. All these councils have different assets. The councils themselves maintain an inventory of their assets. At the Ministry of Local Government, we did not maintain assets of all councils in the country. So I did not see it as a surprise when I moved to Minister of Defense that I should be interested in maintaining the inventory of assets of the Ministry of the Malawi Defense Force, when the Malawi Defense Force commander is a controlling officer. Thank you.
Zakasena.
Thank you so much, Chair, and once again, good morning, Mr. Chiusiwa. I have 3 or 4 questions which I feel I need to engage the witness chair for you. The first one is you were a controlling officer of Minister of Defense. I've tried to understand and to listen who reports to who, because in your presentation here you were saying, for example, when the news broke out, you couldn't update the minister, rather it was the commander and the minister talking directly. The controlling officer, who is the policy holder, which was you were in the dark. So can you take us briefly, maybe in a minute, 60 seconds, or 120 seconds, 2 minutes, what's the reporting line between the ministry and Malawi Defense Force?
Honorable Chairperson and your committee, the Malawi Defense Force Commander interacts with me, interacts with the Secretary for Defense, as well as the Minister of Defense.
Point of order, Chair. I want you to be mindful of the words you are using, because I've said the reporting line. So I don't think reporting line and interacting, I have 2 different meanings of interactions. You can interact the way you and me were interacting, can be official or unofficial. So I'm asking the official line of reporting between the minister and MDF.
Honorable Chairperson and your committee, I've taken note of the intervention by the honorable member. I will then indicate that the Malawi Defense Force commander can report to the Secretary for Defense. He can also report to the Minister of Defense, and he also reports to the Commander-in-Chief of the Malawi Defense Force. Thank you.
All right. All right, Chair. We'll go to the next question, because I'm not yet convinced with the word "can report." It means it's optional. He can choose not to report, or.
Yeah, Honorable Chair and your committee, I think I should indicate that reports. So it's like the Commander, MDF, reports to Secretary for Defense, reports to the Minister, and reports to the Commander-in-Chief.
Thank you. We'll come back to that response later. Let's go to the next question for the Chair. Not related to the June 10, 2024 incident, which you are here to respond to, but I want to build on from the response from this. At any point, you being the Secretary for Defense, when you are saying the commander do report to the Secretary of Defense, the minister, and sometimes chief, commander-in-chief, that's the president, I take like that. At any point, has the commander or his subordinates report to you relating to any Air Force operational readiness or any operational challenges concerning administrative budget for the for the defense force, let's say budgetary issues, procurement or policy issues which need to be addressed, which they thought it is in a short, or it's not within their best for them to save this nation. At any point, do you remember?
Honorable Chair and your committee, not specifically reporting to me, but I will speak to an incident that occurred, and that was during the time when the Minister of Defense was Honorable Monica Changanamuno. When the commander comes, there are times when he would engage the minister on his own, and there are also times when I would be invited to attend those meetings. And I think it was during, in preparations for it should have been 2024, 25 budget. There was a discussion about the need for more funding to the Malawi National Service, who do the productive activities for the Malawi Defense Force. And we did discuss that issue, and the minister took it, so he indicated that he was going to take it up with the Minister of Finance. Thank you.
All right, apart from maybe the reporting from the commander, but you as a controlling officer, you as a Parliamentary Ministry of Malawi Defense Force, Malawi Air Force, Malawi Marine, and Malawi National Service, as you have said, have you had at the ministry level then a time to assess assessing whether there was a limitations of any limitations which they were affecting Air Force ability for safety and effectively conduct their VIP transport missions or their own officer air transport mission prior to 10 June 2024?
Honorable Chair and your committee, yes. There were discussions to the effect that the Malawi Air Force had a number of helicopters that were out of service. And this was an issue that was discussed during a meeting of the Defense Council. And I serve as the secretary in that council. So it was an issue that was discussed, and a decision was made that the Air Force commander should identify service centers that could repair some of the helicopters. Thank you.
I know I've noted that sometimes you're able to remember, sometimes you cannot remember. I fully understand. But can you recall when was that? The time the decision was made to tell Air Force commander to find the service center to service these properties?
I cannot specifically recall, but that was at the last Defense Council meeting I attended. It may have been towards the beginning of 2025.
So that was after the incident. I was asking before, not relating to June 2024. Before that, there was no any plan to service anything.
No, Honorable Chair and your committee, no, it's like it was not towards the beginning of 2025. It was, because I recall, it was before, it's like the incident we are discussing here. This happened in June. Yeah, so it may have been towards the beginning of 2024.
All right, maybe just lastly, now you sit in the Defense Council. The incident happened. You had earlier on made recommendations to have the Air Force commander to check if safe centers to service this. You combine these two, and that would be my chair. Did you get any report from Air Force commander? Where are we on servicing those, including this one, if it was fit to carry the VIP, the one which was involved, MAF 13, is it? And then lastly, after the incident, I'm sure the Defense Council met. I don't want to go into details of that because I'm not so sure the legality of it. But what was discussions and your findings and the recommendations at the Defense Council? What shortcomings you noticed after that fateful incident, and what recommendations the Defense Council made? But you must have in mind that your first recommendation in early 2024, before this incident, was yet to be implemented. So I want you to have those two responses at hand. I submit, Chair.
Yeah, Honorable Chairperson and your committee, I could be mixing up at the time frame on when the Defense Council did discuss the issue. But then I will indicate that after the Defense Council had directed that the Air Force commander should identify service centers where the helicopters could be repaired. There was, the team went out, they went to South Africa, identified, visited a number of service centers, and identified one that they felt could repair some of the helicopters. And there was a meeting at Malawi Defense Force headquarters where the film of the service center that was identified did make a presentation on how they could go about repairing. That time, we were talking about the two Pumas. And the other question related to discussions that took place at the Defense Council, Honorable Chairperson and your committee, I would like to indicate that indeed after the accident, there was an extraordinary Defense Council meeting that was held, but it was held while I was in Spain. And the Minister of Defense chairs the Defense Council. And the minister, the former Minister of Defense, I think will be appearing before your committee, Honorable Chair. So I am of the view that he will be able to take that question. I thank you.
Somba City South.
Thank you so much, Chairperson. Let me also join my friends in thanking Mr. Chiusiwa for making myself available to this committee. Chairperson, I just wanted also to make follow-ups to what my colleagues have already asked. I think there was an issue of you taking leave of the Minister of Defense on your travel to Spain. And I think you did say you took leave. But would like to know, when is it that you took leave? Was it after the happenings, or it was way before the incident? We want to know that because as Zomba Tonde did ask, the approvals might be there, but people were supposed to make decisions whether to travel or not. I've also taken note, Chair, from his last submission, that he also missed a Defense Council meeting because he was in Spain. I'm just wondering, what was so important about this Spain trip that you miss the PS's meeting? You also miss the Defense Council meeting because you had to attend to business or a meeting in Spain. I just want to know how critical this Spain meeting was versus the national issue that was here affecting our country, losing 9 people, including the second citizen. Chairperson, I also wanted to check with the witness. I know that the council of the committee of PSS, there's also the MDF commander in there. You might want to confirm that. I would want maybe you to respond to that before I proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, and your committee.
I just wanted you to confirm if the MDF commander was also part of the PSS committee.
No, I cannot confirm since I did not attend the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You did not attend the meeting, but you don't know the composition of the PSS committee.
No, this was, Honorable Chair and your committee, this was an, I would say, an ad hoc committee. When there are different activities being done or an activity to be done, and OPC feels that there should be a committee of a PSS, they decide which PSS should be in that committee. So since I did not attend the meeting, I cannot know who were members. I think Office of the President and Cabinet would be better positioned to indicate. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So that also indicates to me that you are not privy to what they discussed, your colleagues discussed in that meeting as PSS. Obviously, you are not privy to what they discussed because you don't know who was there and you don't know who chaired that meeting.
Honorable Chairperson and your committee, yes, that is correct. As I have indicated, on the 11th of June 2024, when this meeting was called, I was going to a funeral of my aunt.
Thank you so much. Next, Chair, I also want to find out from the witness, when he was responding to the Zagasina, you did mention that MDF commander reports to you. Can you confirm?
Yes, because MDF.
Thank you. I just wanted the yes. Chairperson, meaning that if MDF commander reports to Secretary for Defense, it means he is the father of the MDF. He's supposed to take that leadership in a way because the head of the MDF is reporting to him. So this is where I'm going now. There are matters to do with equipment, like the Zakasina did ask, issues to do with HR, including the pilots and what have you. In that regard, wouldn't be wrong to say that you are the responsible person because the MDF commander reports to you even on these matters. I'm taking this to where now I want to go because one of the recommendations from the report, a BFU report, there are several recommendations, but several are touching on the Ministry of Defense. Meaning, the issues, for example, I should read the recommendation on page 17, which says the Minister of Defense, who is your boss, of the Republic of Malawi should ensure that aircraft of the MDF or Malawi Armed Forces transporting persons are equipped with the emergency locator transmitter, and there are also other issues to do with the airworthiness of the machines. So you should be in the know of the condition of these machines that are under your responsibility. I should extend, Chairperson, that we are aware as a committee, like Dr. Kasina said, that the helicopters that are lying idle somewhere in Malawi, purportedly because we don't have personnel to fly those machines. And I think in 2024, these helicopters were around. So I just wanted you to also speak to those things, because we expect that the Secretary to Minister of Defense is on top of making sure that the resources are made available to the Minister of Defense, because the head of the defense, who is the commander of MDF, reports to you. Chairperson, I submit.
Honorable Chairperson and your committee, I just would like to request the Deputy Chair maybe to elaborate a bit more on, you said that the helicopters were lying idle because of some other issues. Yeah, which helicopters are these?
Thank you so much, Mr. Chiusiwa. We have information that we have got planes that are lying idle, I think in the southern region, belonging to the MDF, that are not in operation because we do not have the necessary human resource that has been well trained to fly these machines.
No, thanks very much, Honorable Chairperson and your committee, and thanks for the elaboration. Well, I will indicate that it is two aircrafts. They are fixed wing aircrafts that are in Blantyre, and they are not helicopters, and that's why I think I wanted that clarification. As I indicated earlier, the Malawi Defense Force commander indeed reports to me as Secretary for Defense, and I also indicated that he also reports to the minister, and I also indicated that the Malawi Defense Force commander is a controlling officer in his own right. So the Malawi Defense Force commander does not report to the Secretary for Defense everything that he has to do with the Malawi Defense Force. He will report to the Secretary for Defense on issues that he feels the ministry should assist the Malawi Defense Force in addressing a particular issue. But there are a lot of things that the Malawi Defense Force commander decides, takes action, and addresses things without consulting the Ministry of Defense.
I thought we were coming to a conclusion. I'm still seeing hands. So it means there's more areas to be. Okay, can I ask my question?
But Chair, I had a supplementary.
Maybe Chair, there are, I think, some other questions that he raised that I have not yet.
Okay, I'll allow you to answer.
Thank you, Chair. The taking leave of absence was done before the incident. Yes, I am missing the Defense Council meeting. Before I left for Madrid, I did not know that there was going to be a meeting of the Defense Council. But I think, as I indicated, Saka had taken leave of both the minister and the secretary to the president and cabinet.
So I'll allow one question to those that are, yes. But then can you jot down those questions now? Because we've had direct engagement with you. Can you jot down those questions? You can answer them all at once, okay, for the sake of time. So Zomba Tondwe, there's a Mayani, that will be and then there's a Casina, and the last one will be Planta Malabad.
Thank you so much, Chair. Before I ask my questions, but just maybe to remind our witness, Mr. Chiusiwa, that what Zomba City South was asking was, you mentioned to us that you had gone for a refresher course. And he was asking on the importance of the refresher course as compared to the tragedy that has befallen this country at that particular time. I personally gave him, Chair, an example of what the state president did. The state president had a schedule. He was flying to Bahamas, if I'm not wrong. But the same day, he canceled, despite all the preparations, despite the fact that all preparations were completed. He canceled. And with reference to the tragic accident, you were the number one person. So I just wanted that question to be answered. It's not my question, it's his question. But number two, I wanted him to confirm that he's in the Defense Council by virtue of his position as Principal Secretary of Defense, not as Mr. Chiusiwa, which means, the way I understand it, the Defense Council is like a board for security issues. Now, he's coming there as because of his position as PS, and he's the secretary for the same, meaning all the minutes that are written there, he's the one writing. Meaning the best person to give us information, because he's the custodian of the minutes, should have been himself. But if you notice, Chair, he's avoiding all elements. And I wanted to be asking with reference to, of course, I know we'll get it in a different way. I was going to be asking for evidence of, he mentioned the dates, evidence of the meetings and stuff like that, to affirm his assertions. That's number one. Number two, just to finish, Chair, maybe let me cut there, but I really wanted him to take responsibility because he's not in the Defense Council. He's in the Defense Council rather by virtue of his position, representing the entire Ministry of Defense. I submit, Chair.
There's that.
Thank you, Chair. My questions are two, and the direct ones. Is the Ministry of Defense the policy holder that also holds policy issues regarding Malawi Defense Force? And if that's the case, I wanted also to know if Ministry of Defense has many children apart from MDF. I'm taking it as the mother ministry, in your own words, and I want to know how many children do you have? Because the way it is appearing, Chair, it is like the mother has a child, but the child is totally independent of the mother. And I want to know structurally, or as if the mother, the child has three mothers. Because if they start reporting to the minister direct, PS direct, commander-in-chief direct, it's a structural issue. And lucky enough, we went to Madrid to learn about the disaster preparedness and the coordination. So now you see, you are leaving behind an institution that looks like has problems with coordination. So I want to learn finally from that. Thank you.
Chair, thank you. As you are writing down, Mr. Chiusiwa, as to answer as to how many official and unofficial children the ministry has, I want you to confirm, prior to 10 June 2024 incident, For how long were you in that ministry?
Blantyre Malabane.
Honorable Chairperson, the committee would have benefited a lot if the mother ministry had all the inventory of what the MDF has. Precisely, maybe you could have gotten an idea whether the aircrafts did have black boxes and other items. But he said that the MDF commander only reports on things that he feels are necessary. I would like to find out if the committee would have the opportunity to be able to appreciate the type of reports that were actually forwarded to his ministry. Thank you.
You may answer those 4 set of questions, and we can wind up.
Yes, Honorable Chairperson, I did not get the last part of the question. Thank you.
I would like to find out if you are in possession or know who is in possession of all the reports that were sent from the MDF to your office as a PS.
Honorable Chair and your committee, maybe I should start with the last one because I really am not very sure. You're saying all reports that MDF sent to the Ministry of Defense. Is it during the time I was a Secretary for Defense, or you have specific reports that you are interested in, Honorable Member?
During the time you were responsible for the Ministry of Defense.
Honorable Chairperson, and your committee, I think this would require, going through files, because when reports come to the ministry, they are filed. So I really, I don't know whether, that is information this ad hoc committee may be interested in. Because if it is, then the current, I can request the current secretary for defense to go through, files and find reports that were submitted by Malawi Defense Force and make them available. I think I will then try to respond to the questions that have been made by members. The first one was the issue of going to a refresher course when there was an accident that had occurred. I think, as I indicated earlier on, I felt that by going to attend the refresher course, OPC had put in place a committee of principal secretaries that would be in a position to deal with the situation. And Malawi Defense Force was the owner of the aircraft, that had made the accident. Any information related to that would have been made available to the PS's committee through Malawi Defense Force. So at that particular time, I did not see it necessary, to cancel the trip. But maybe in hindsight, with also, like the information that has been shared, maybe that could have been the right thing to do. But before I left, like I indicated that the seeking permission to travel was done before the incident. But before I left, on the 15th of June, I did speak to my minister, reminded him the fact that he already had approved that I could attend this course, and I did take leave of him. If on my side, I didn't feel that I should not go, if it was felt necessary that I ought to be here, my minister could have told me that, PS, I feel that although I had given you authority to travel, but because of this incident, I think you should not go. My minister did not do that, and it was on that basis that I proceeded with the trip. I was also asked, as to whether my attendance in the Defense Council is as me or as a result of my position. Secretary for Defense attends meetings of the Defense Council because of his position as Secretary for Defense. I think there was an issue of evidence to affirm my assertions. I don't know which assertions are these. I don't know whether you are looking for evidence of minutes of the Defense Council, because as I've indicated, at the Defense Council meeting that took place after the incidents was held while I was away. And it was on that basis that I indicated that since the Minister of Defense is the chair of the Defense Council and he's going to appear before this ad hoc committee, he will be, like the right person to indicate or share with the committee the decisions that were made at that meeting. Yes, the Ministry of Defense is the policy holder, but maybe, Honorable Chair and your committee, I should indicate that as of now, Malawi does not have a national defense policy. And maybe this could be an issue, like that ought to be fast-tracked, looking at the way members spoke with regard to the reporting lines. Because a policy, clearly indicates how things should be done. And I feel that the lack of that policy, may be the reason why some of the things are being done the way they are being done. So I think maybe as your committee may want, to make that as a clear, a recommendation that the national defense policy should be finalized. It is in draft form, but it has been in that form for a long time. I was in Ministry of Defense, as I indicated, from April 2024 to October 2025. And to respond to the other question, how long was I in the ministry before the incident? I was 3 months old when the accident happened. Thank you, Honorable Chair and your committee.
Mwanza Central.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, Minister of Defense has only one child, and the child is at the Malawi Defense Force. Although Malawi Defense Force has a number of services, but the interaction is between the ministry and the Malawi Defense Force commander. I submit.
All right. Thank you very much, Chair. I followed closely on the interaction we've had with the PS. My conclusion or my observation is that after the plane went missing to the time that the plane was found, the bodies were laid to rest. The PS had literally nothing to do with the entire process. He was not involved in any way. He has not indicated that he made calls to his directors, he made calls to the minister, or he communicated to the commander of the MDF. There is literally nothing that the PS did during that entire period. So I wanted that just to be on record. Thank you.
So before we carry on, do you accept that you were irresponsible during this time? Because there is an analysis of events, trail of events. Do you accept that as a PS you were irresponsible in the way you conducted yourself over this incident or not?
Honorable Chairperson and your committee, I don't think that I was responsible. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Chiusiwa, I want to take you to the Constitution of Malawi, Article 161, Section 3. The commander of the Defense Force of Malawi shall, in the day-to-day management of the Defense Force, be accountable to the minister responsible for defense, in whom shall vest political responsibility for the defense of Malawi. I wanted to ask, what do you make of this article? What is your understanding of this article?
My understanding of that article is that the Malawi Defense Commander.
Point of order, Chair. My apologies. I wanted to suggest that before that, you asked Mr. Chiusiwa if he was responsible or not. I think that may be an issue of another day to assess and all that. But I wanted him to confirm if the assertions are true that after the tragic accident, you did not do any of the items, including the phone calls or assigning responsibilities as per Mwanza assertions. I just wanted you to confirm that you didn't do anything like that.
Chair, point of order.
I have the floor, so can you respond to my question first? Then if there are any supplementary questions, we'll take supplementary. I don't want to confuse them. Okay? So I've asked you about your interpretation of the accountability, which is mentioned in the Constitution of Malawi.
Honorable Chairperson and your committee, my understanding of that provision is that the Malawi Defense Force Commander will report to the Minister of Defense. That's my understanding.
So there's an accountability aspect which is being mentioned in here. I wanted to find out from you, when the plane crashed, there were calls from certain quarters that the Minister of Defense must resign. Were those calls fair or not?
Well, Honorable Chair and your committee, I should feel that if those calls were being made, those who were making those calls ought to have provided reasons why the minister should resign. So it would be difficult for me to say whether those calls were reasonable or not when I don't know the basis on which those calls were being made. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I just wanted clarification in a reference to the Constitution of Malawi. You've given your position. Any other final questions? I think we've had him for a very long time. Okay? Yeah, so Mulanje North.
Thank you so much, Chair. I just wanted to possibly rephrase. I think you asked the question whether you were responsible or not. But if I can use whether you were, if I can say that you are not concerned, would that be correct?
Honorable Chair and your committee, no, you would not be correct.
So let me take you through just a minute to engage. You did not make any inquiries after the plane had disappeared that belonged to MDF that was under your ministry. That's correct, isn't it?
No, can you come again, please?
You, after you heard that the plane had disappeared, just like another Malawian, you were following on the radio, correct?
Yes.
The social media. So you did not make independent efforts from your officers to find out the whereabouts of this plane.
Honorable Chairperson and your committee, I think in my submission, I indicated that I had spoken to the minister, and the minister had told me that he was getting updates from the Malawi Defense Force commander. That, to me, was enough. And since this issue was escalated at that level, I didn't feel that it was necessary for me to even talk to. I may indicate that the setup of the Ministry of Defense is such that when I was there, we did not have a director of administration. We have a directorate of planning and a directorate of human resource, which are headed by deputy directors, not directors. And this is also something that while I was there, I started engaging with the Department of Human Resource Management and Development that there is need for a functional review to be done for the Ministry of Defense, because in its current setup, it is not adequate enough to do the work that it is supposed to do.
Okay. Yeah, I'd just started. So you confirm that you were getting, or you got updates from the minister. The minister was the one updating you.
No, Honorable Chair and your committee, there was no need for the minister to be updating me. If the Malawi Defense Force commander was updating him, that was it. I could have been updating the minister if the Malawi Defense Force commander was updating me. Then I would have been reporting to the minister. But the Malawi Defense Force commander was already, speaking to my minister. There was even no need for the minister, to inform me.
Your response is sufficient. I think I would like us to close because we're going in circles.
I was just about to. So I just want you to confirm that one, you did not make independent follow-ups after you heard the missing of the plane? 1. 2, you did not attend the interministerial committee because obviously you were bereaved, correct?
Correct.
3, you proceeded to leave for Spain for a refresher course, despite the tragedy that had befallen the country that involved a plane that was under your ministry, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chiusiwa. I think we've had a very good engagement. You were evasive at the beginning. That's why we've taken so long. You started coming out of your shell and clarifying why certain things happened. I noticed structural gaps. You started talking about towards the end, policy issues that have not been approved. Because the picture you painted at the beginning is that the Malawi Defense Force and the Ministry of Defense operate in silos. You know, and very concerning that there's a disconnect between these two institutions. Okay, and it gives a bearing to us when we're making recommendations. Because this inquiry is not just about following what happened, but fixing the future of aviation in Malawi. Okay, so we've noted some gaps that have to be filled. So we appreciate maybe the question might have taken too long, but you were able to, you know, give us direction and give us an indication of the relationship that is there between, you know, the Minister of Defense and the Malawi Defense Force. So I appreciate your time. You may have something to say that you probably didn't say, or, you know, your last comments.
No, Honorable Chair and your committee, I just would like to thank you and the Honorable Committee for having given me an opportunity to testify before your ad hoc committee. I thank you.
You may take leave, Mr. Chiusiwa. Thank you very much for your time.